We get a full day's play in Brisbane then on day 2, and it's a day dominated by 3 individual storylines. Of course, Travis Head makes runs against India. Of course, Jasprit Bumrah does Jasprit Bumrah things. But in the middle of that, Steven Smith with a comeback 100 of his own. Cheteshwar Pujara here with us to look back on day 2's play. Thank you, Cheteshwar, for your time. Seemed to be heading in firmly in one direction, thanks to Smith and Head's association. But Jasprit Bumrah with that second new ball burst, how do you see the overall state of play after day 2?
I think it was a great comeback the way Jasprit bowled, because at one point it looked like Australia might end up getting more than 500 runs on the board. So yeah, it was a brilliant comeback from the Indian team. But the way Jasprit bowled, I think he's leading from the front, the way he's bowling with the new ball, first 3 wickets, and even second new ball. The most important part was the second new ball, the way he got those 3 wickets and the length. Because if you look at his bowling on day 1, his length was slightly shorter, but he made that adjustment very quickly on day 2, and then eventually he got the success. But I also felt in our bowling, all our seamers bowled well. Akash bowled well, Siraj bowled well, but the support of our spinner and Nitish could have been a little better, because both of them, between them, they bowled somewhere around 25 overs and they conceded 120 runs, which is a lot.
That move to get Jadeja in as the sole spinner, it's not working out right now.
I think so, because when you are, I know he's been chosen as a batter who can bowl a bit, but in Australian conditions, when you know that the opposition batter, the strong batters are left-handers, Travis Head, Usman and Alex Carey, all 3 are left-handers. So you want your off-spinner to be there, and even if you look at the rough, it's mainly for the right-handers. So off-spinners will come into play eventually, even in the second innings. So that's where I thought our thought process was not up to the mark. We could have gone with the off-spinner. It could have been Ashwin or Washington, but playing Jadeja was probably not the right call. He's one of the best players. He's a great batter. He's a great fielder, but probably to contain Aussies in those conditions, I thought it was a tough task for him.
Let's focus on those 2 Australian batting stars, because Head and Smith get together with Australia 3 for 70 and then a double century association. What do we say of Travis Head and this connection with India? Just keep scoring runs, but did India not learn enough from what happened in Adelaide?
I would say so. I think our planning hasn't been great against Travis Head. I know he's been batting well. He's in a great form. The way he's batting, his strike rate, the way he's timing the ball. But last game we didn't bowl enough short balls. This game we did. But if you look at his scoring area, which is outside off stump, that's where we are feeding too many balls. That's where we are bowling a lot more. I've said this even in the last game, that you need to bowl in the stumps. We need to attack his off stump, middle stump. I would even say that if you end up bowling on leg stump, that is still fine. Have 4 fielders on the leg side, you can have 5 fielders on the off side, but don't allow him to score on the off side.
One thing for the bowling team's plans to not be good, but then for the batter to execute with the kind of consistency he does. In both these games, you've seen Travis Head, while he's been out in the middle, Australia's scoring rate has been touching 5s, whereas before that they've barely managed 2.5 runs per over.
Look, he's an aggressive player and he plays his game, and when someone is in that kind of form, it's very hard to restrict him, and he walks in after 30 overs where the ball is little soft, it doesn't swing as much. So it was an ideal condition for him to come in and play his natural game. But I would still say that we need to learn to be a little more patient, bowl in that channel, keep bowling in that middle and off stump channel, and make him drive a bit more, try and draw him on the front foot and make him score on either straighter or on the onside.
The trick here of the 2 centuries from Steven Smith, been a while since he scored 100, and been a while since you had to say that about Steve Smith. So a monkey off his back. What did he do differently in this innings compared to that lean patch he's had for a while?
I thought his footwork was excellent. He was moving his feet really, really well. His head position was much better later on. Early on, his head was falling a bit, but later on, once he was set, his head position was perfect. Some of the shots which he played, the straight drive, the cover drive, that's where you can say that he's back in form, and he wanted that 100. He was a little desperate. He wasn't able to get those runs, and now he has scored those runs. So we will have to be careful, because once Steve Smith gets going, he keeps scoring runs.
Yeah, and that could be the most ominous part of this innings perhaps for India, because India have good experience with Steve Smith of knowing once he gets those runs, he doesn't stop for series and for years at end.
Yeah, but this time I'm hoping that because we have been able to get him out early, maybe when he comes in to bat in the second innings or going forward, we don't allow him to score runs quickly. We try and get him out as early as possible. But yeah, once he gets going, it's tough to stop him.
You've touched upon Bumrah and the impact he made with that second new ball. We saw that the second new ball was much more difficult to face than what we saw on the first morning and the limited play we got on day one. Is this something you come to expect in Brisbane, that the new ball will only get more and more challenging to face as the days pass?
I would say so, because as the game progresses, it gets tougher to bat on. So maybe on day 3, it won't be easy for the Indian batters to face the new ball. First 30 overs will be very crucial. We'll have to get off to a good start. If we end up losing too many wickets, then there will be a lot of pressure on the middle order and lower middle order. So we'll have to ensure that our top order sees through that new ball, and then which allows the middle order to come in and bat when the conditions are slightly easier.
All of that points to a huge day in the course of not just this test but this series.
Yes, definitely. And there'll be tomorrow, it's likely to be overcast conditions. Sun won't be out. There might be a little bit of rain in between. So yeah, the batters will have to do the hard job. But if we get off to a good start, if we bat well in first 20 to 30 overs, then it becomes a good pitch, because we have seen that with the old ball, it is slightly easier to bat on, and it's a nice pitch to, the pace of the pitch will increase. There will be a consistent bounce on that pitch. So if you can see through the new ball, and if you bat well between 30 to 80 overs, then it's a prime time to bat with the Kookaburra ball.
All right, we leave it there. Thank you so much, Cheteshwar Pujara. It's called Moving Day. The first hope for all viewers from day 3 is that the clouds move away.